see the fault within my frame, the hidden sins I tried to tame, the lies I spoke.
The Fault in the Frame. Justice. Devotional Series. Episode 10. The first word of the second verse is the bravest word in the song. I. For an entire movement, the singer pointed outward. They, them, the proud, the liars, the powerful, the crowd. Now, for the first time, the finger turns around and points at his own chest. I see the fault within my frame. And once that word is spoken, the inventory begins. 4 lines of a man telling the truth about himself, with no one forcing him to. Let us follow him through it, because this is what honest confession actually sounds like, and most of us have never let ourselves say it out loud. I see the fault within my frame. Pay attention to where he locates the problem. Not in his circumstances, not in the people who wronged him. Within my frame, inside the very structure of who he is. He is not confessing a few bad decisions. He is confessing a fault, the way an engineer speaks of a fault line running through the bedrock, a flaw built into the foundation, there before any building went up on top of it. This is the hardest truth about us, and the one we resist most. The problem is not only what we do, the problem is what we are. David said it without flinching. Surely I was sinful at birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me. Psalm 51:5. The fault was in the frame before he ever had a chance to act on it. And the heart is deceitful above all things, Jeremiah warned, and beyond cure. Who can understand it? Jeremiah 17:9. We cannot even fully see our own fault, because the instrument we would use to examine it is the very thing that is cracked. This is why behavior modification never finally works. You cannot sand down a fault in the foundation by trying harder on the surface. The hidden sins I tried to tame. Here is the second confession, and it lands close to home. Tried to tame, not tried to kill, tamed. We take the sins we are most ashamed of, and rather than put them to death, we domesticate them. We keep them on a leash. We learn to manage them, to indulge them just enough that the pressure releases, but quietly enough that no one finds out. We become skilled zookeepers of our own corruption, feeding it in private and keeping the cage presentable for company. But Scripture never tells us to tame sin. It tells us to put it to death. Romans 8:13. A tamed sin is still alive, still fed, still ours. And the word hidden matters, because the taming is always done in the dark, away from other eyes. The trouble is, there is one set of eyes the dark does not stop. You have set our iniquities before you, the psalmist prayed, our secret sins in the light of your presence. Psalm 98. The thing you have been quietly managing in the basement of your life, God has been watching in full daylight the entire time. There are no hidden sins. There are only sins hidden from everyone but Him. The lies I spoke, the pride I fed. And now the singer gets specific, and notice which 2 sins he names, because we have heard them before. In the first verse, we mourn the lies of ages filling the air, and we condemn the way history bends to serve the proud. Lies and pride. The exact 2 sins we pointed at in the world are the 2 the singer now finds in himself. He spoke lies too. He fed pride too. That word fed is devastating in its honesty. He does not say the pride that happened to me. He says the pride I fed, that he nourished it, cultivated it, gave it a meal every day until it grew strong. Pride is not a weed that simply appears in us. It is a creature we keep alive on purpose, because it tells us comfortable things about ourselves. And the oldest warning in the wisdom of Scripture stands over it. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs 16:18. The very thing we despised in the proud of the first verse, we have been growing in our own chest. The quiet wrongs I left for dead. This last line is the most haunting because of those three words, left for dead. Picture what they describe. A wrong done, small enough that no one made a fuss, and then simply walked away from. Abandoned on the side of the road like something already lifeless. The apology never made. The relationship never repaired. The small theft, the quiet cruelty, the betrayal no one else even noticed. Left behind, unaddressed, on the assumption that if we just keep walking, it will stay dead and gone. But it does not stay dead. That is the lie inside the phrase. The wrongs we leave for dead are not dead. They are buried alive, and they keep working on us from underneath. David knew this better than anyone. When I kept silent, he wrote, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night your hand was heavy on me. My strength was sapped as in the heat of summer. Psalm 32, 3-4. He had left his wrong for dead. He had kept silent, and the unconfessed thing did not disappear. It rotted him from the inside, drained him, sat on him like a weight that would not lift until he could barely stand. So that is the inventory, the fault in the frame, the hidden sins we tame instead of kill, the lies we spoke and the pride we fed, the quiet wrongs we abandoned and pretended were gone. It is a brutal piece of honesty, and if the song stopped here, it would crush us. But there is something running underneath this whole confession that we must not miss. The fact that the singer can see all this is itself a mercy. You cannot confess what you cannot see, and you cannot see your own fault unless a light has reached it. The very ability to look at the fault in your frame and name it honestly means the light has already found you. The same glory that exposed the sin is the glory that came down to deal with it. Conviction is not God turning away from you in disgust. It is God coming close enough that you can finally see, and naming what is wrong is the first step toward being free of it. David did not stay silent forever. After the wasting and the heaviness, he finally stopped leaving his wrong for dead. Then I acknowledged my sin to you, he wrote, and did not cover up my iniquity. I will confess my transgressions to the Lord. And the next words are the turn the whole inventory was waiting for. And you forgave the guilt of my sin. Psalm 32:5. The wrong he had buried alive, he finally brought into the open. And the moment he did, it was forgiven. We are not at the full answer yet. The song has further down to go before it climbs. But even in this hardest inventory, we can do the one thing David did. We can stop taming, stop hiding, stop leaving things for dead, and bring the whole honest list into the light of the one who has been seeing it all along, and who came down precisely for a frame with a fault in it. And yet the singer is not finished being honest, because there is something harder to say than "I have sinned." There is a line he is about to draw, a line that connects everything on this list to the very wrath he was crying down on the world. That line is where we go next.
Our voices break in sorrow song.